There are several festivals throughout the year, with Eid ul-Adha and Eid ul-Fitr being important to both Sunnis and Shias. Eid ul-Adha is the festival of sacrifice, celebrating complete obedience to Allah, as it commemorates the willingness of the Prophet Abraham, to sacrifice his son Ishmael, as an act of obedience to Allah. Allah provided a ram to sacrifice instead at the last moment. It is celebrated on the 10th day of Dhu al-Hijjah, the last month of the Islamic lunar calendar, during the time of the Hajj pilgrimage. The day begins with a special prayer called Salat al-Eid, performed in congregation at mosques or open prayer grounds. Muslims who can afford to do so sacrifice an animal, such as a sheep, goat, cow, or camel, to commemorate Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son. The meat is divided into 3 parts: 1/3 for the family, 1/3 for relatives and friends, and 1/3 for the needy. Emphasizing the importance of sharing and helping those in need, Muslims give to charity and distribute the meat of the sacrificed animal. Families and friends gather to share festive meals and celebrate together. New clothes are often worn and gifts are exchanged. Eid ul-Fitr is the festival of breaking the fast and marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting. It celebrates the conclusion of a month of fasting, prayer, and reflection. It is celebrated on the first day of Shawwal, the 10th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, immediately after the end of Ramadan. The day begins with a special prayer called Salat al-Eid, performed in congregation at mosques or prayer grounds. Before the Eid prayer, Muslims are required to give a form of charity known as Zakat al-Fitr, intended to purify those who fast from any indecent act or speech and to help the poor and needy. Following the prayer, Muslims celebrate with the festive meals. It is a time of joy and thanksgiving, with special dishes and sweets prepared for the occasion. Families and friends gather to celebrate. New clothes are often worn, and gifts are exchanged, especially among children. Eid ul-Fitr is a time for forgiveness and making amends, expressing gratitude to Allah for the strength to complete the fast. Ashura is observed differently by Sunni and Shia Muslims. For Sunni Muslims, it is a day of fasting in remembrance of Allah's victory for Moses over Pharaoh. For Shia Muslims, it is a day of mourning for the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, at the Battle of Karbala. Ashura is observed on the 10th day of Muharram, the first month of the Islamic lunar calendar. Many Sunni Muslims fast on the 10th of Muharram, as well as the 9th, in emulation of the Prophet Muhammad's practice and to commemorate Moses' victory. Ashura is a day of intense mourning and commemoration. Shia Muslims gather for processions and recitations of the story of Hussein's martyrdom. Special gatherings called majlis are held where the story of Hussein's sacrifice is retold, and sermons are given to reflect on the significance of his martyrdom. Many participate in public processions, some engaging in acts of chest-beating, latmiya, or self-flagellation in some cultures, as a symbol of mourning and solidarity with Hussein's suffering. Acts of charity are encouraged, and food and drinks are often distributed to commemorate the generosity and sacrifice of Hussein and his family.